Today's very night at this sorry, forgive me, I have really bad the hour here. Really bad. This is March 19th, 2015, and this is already midnight, about that I can see around. I thought it were a different hour. This is too bright and too clear, but I see as if I would have 0339, which is impossible. We are around midnight at this Buenos Aires of terror. And suddenly, for the clear of this and for the reality of these times, I'm just through certain other circumstances. It is the reality of this generation of hell, which are the grand whore, with an evangelic title, with the judgment of a blevachdikinim blavasevasechinim, with tongue of snake, with heart of demon, with eyes of benchivishchadchaditi vehement pansmanaya, and with brains of brainatia kaflechidis seol masvesua, which pretends that God to be kind of a very lust of amblevasivishchadchadechinin, capricious. I command, and I am the authority because of I command here and we command, gotta be what we say. And turns to saying, oh, because of officers brought this to us, and will government lie with all classes of abhorrence about my person, chunky robbery, uniformed rape, basodoma to me, and I disposed whore, degenerate, abominable, and the freaks that generates evangelics, which persist in this vices, that generation prostitutes ways, persist in the same, saying authorities put it back at, gotta pray for the authorities in eminence, and they are not in eminence and they are not authorities, they are demons, and are permanently making witchcraft to me, and Gomorrah turned to saying to me, you are not gonna taking away from us the Elie. And Berras turned to saying, of course, and are talking about my person, and Barraso saying, you are not going to take away and rip away from me the power and the spirit and the aliyah. And turns to making the plebesejaji and evangelics diablas degeneradas, supporting them. I understand there is a lot of pain and a lot of people suffering, but this is not fixed by destroying me. You make it worse, and the worst comes up on your head because of Adonai buries you in the hell where you belong to be. And God himself is going to see about victims. The situation is that the ones that are buried in the hell are the conscious, intentional ones. At the clear of this, prostituta enferma, reventada y degenerada, Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, with prostitutos degenerados, perros sucios, pedófilos, gerontófilos, reventófilos, perrorófilos, chivolófilos, hamstelófilos, or hamsterófilos, posholófilos. What else can this be? Demolófilos, degeneralófilos themselves. Pretended to be the authorities anointed evangelics, keeps on having the judgment of the blevecha chadikimim plebeseleshkotcha, and saying that they command. Of course. And perros degenerados, Policía Federal Argentina, Metropolitana Gendarmería Nacional, with perros prostitutas on, and what does it workshop? Well, any healthy person will ever work. And President, what did she say? If he doesn't work about that we commanded to, he'll be internated because if he doesn't obey and he can understand we commanded not here, of course. And the idea of Christina Kirchner about God and my person is I to be the whole of the trim of her and its expertises, trousers, of Sodom and Gomorrah, pretender of government, to saying that I gotta be the shit they are, and they gotta be me. So keeps on making witchcraft and destruction, saying, oh, send them to cutting him in pieces and to it. For no one to know and nobody to see, no one to see and no one to understand. And we to win, because of evangelics has declaring the victory for us, and we're gonna win, of course. Keeps on raping families complete, men's, women's, especially Jewish, and threatening if I will ever tear, to ripping them out, to making destructions all over, saying they already taken the control of the states. And at the states, all around the world, certain class of degenerates in powers, making the obstruction and supporting and instigations, and all attached at the reality for this to forward and succeed, especially evangelics. And I'm sorry for the victims. This is going to have an end, and it's going to be what everyone deserves, hell. And the reality of this is forwarding into making the same thing, saying, keep the pieces of it, we are going to win. He's not going to be but us. At the force of diablas perras sucias, degeneradas y diablas evangélicas, whichever one is muerto. And para siempre. Spanglish. Right? So at the middle of this reality, keeps on making the generations to my person and to everybody, and keeps on playing the nosotros somos los que mandamos, no entendés vos, no entendés, and hearing and raping and destroying and murdering, saying this class of things. No lo entendés, you don't understand, we are the ones that command. Because of the capricious trouser of them inseminated brains of hell, hell's gotta be that. And every day are gonna be death for more, everyone that does this to me and to us. So in the middle of this all, I'm going to give you one thing. That perros albinos already were trying to elaborate in saying that I will say the way they says. After robbing that profaning reality of producing for the robbing what naturally I am and I do, which no one can in them unless a God, and won't. And no demon can give which is of God himself. So the reality here is, big words, go to hell and die. Which is what is going to happen. Sodoma y Gomorra, Policía Federal Argentina. Sodoma y Gomorra, Pren Crudo Carnival Cabrera Condia, Mateas. Sodoma y Gomorra, Evangelistas Unidos. Sodoma y Gomorra, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Gendarmería Nacional, Ejército Argentino. Sodoma y Gomorra, Kirchner, UNASUR. Mueran y vayan al infierno donde pertenecen, Shalá, otra cosa no va a dar. Y lo que me hicieron y lo que hicieron a mi gente, con muerte y destrucción de todos los siglos y cánceres de muerte eterna, lo pagan todos y cada uno. Ladillas el uno del otro, el otro al uno, y ladillas en el maldito trasero de la chiva del infierno, por todos los siglos, Shalá. Ninguna otra cosa son ni serán. Well, sorry. Blepeseja blachnia blepeseveshkat halachachalak. Rechol blachim blepeseveshkat halachivikam ma blepeseveshkat halachat. Renkalichimin ba blepeseveshkat hepoplachachalchim. So, perra degenerada, en perros degenerados, esta ticker process me, sue me. Saying that I am all they says and offends me after the most of found massively raped and murdered in sacrificial Sodoma y Gomorrah, like Christina Kirchner and Guillermo Pren in United Evangelics are, and thus for, deflectively, like hell are, demons, everyone, or murdered and destroyed and slaughtered directly, for they do not resurrect also, and saying, we do to it here. One thing is clear. If the whole perras degeneradas are fenced to the making all class of a destruction and living day and night making witchcraft and destructions as spiritual, as institutional, as social, like near here, some storage enterprises at Padre Monte Carvalho for one perra, Policía Federal Argentina, that were all around saying, expect for this to come because of we commanded he to do, and he got it doing. And while an extortion in Your Honor from New York telling me, hang on there a little bit because of we have a problem. And perrada marica, sorry the word, the Policía Federal Argentina phony, with a robbed car after rape others. Desperated, like the caravan of the Ben Revita Maple Besejadjali in heat, perro degenerado abominable, perra marica. Telling to my person while passing by slowly under rain, hey you, are you gonna blow me today? With perrazos degenerados, like always happens, the whole Policía Federal Argentina, except for some victims, murdered. Y maricas, fajina, pretender of expertise assault, pouring all over for more, socially and institutionally, wherever the places, that, spends all the day deliring and robbed to evangelics and lives of robbery, and is a prostitute, and is a demon, and we know this one, and the mother is a whore, and the family is narco, and everything else is robbed, and we didn't put him in jail yet, because of we are researching, and we are like human rights and institutionally making trials and researching. And marica starts to sing, of course. Y Prostite cuarta, y la perra primera es Cristina Kirchner, con la perra segunda, Guillermo Pren, and United Evangelics. Oh. And at the reality of this, telling, we are going to have kids' friends because of he didn't blow chap yet, because of we commanded him to come to blow chap the ones that are waiting for he to come. And ask it. Trim on, perra degenerada, and for what you do to my people, I'm going to kill you. And I'm going to put you dead. Shala. So at the reality of this, Rema Blefeseveshkat Halachim, perras here, telling, that was the one that delired. Prostitutitas degeneradas, should I say the word? Forgive me for this. Balls, liquors of the perros degenerados, Sodom y Gomorra. Seems like perras degeneradas also wants to hang testicles. And I'm not saying lesbianas, and lesbianas are not this. Which are called, let's fixing this again, lesbianas. Stigmas gotta be away. The persons that were defined like lesbians, are actually victims as the ones defined like gays. Of this, lesbianas and F word, should I say, degenerados Sodom y Gomorra, which doesn't have to do about homosexuality. Like I said, and it is this. Through the reality this happened the Blefesach Lechimi and Blefeseshki Dachlacham, saying that they could be me because of evangelics told them, Luciano Troviano and Cristina Kirchner, and saying that they commence and they have rights and it's what they says. Perras delirantes, asesinas, degenerada abominación, perras muertas, staging and making the theater for whatever this to be, and whenever unmasked and discovered goes to kill because of they says they commands, we don't understand. So, in the middle of this all, perra Cristina Kirchner saying that I gotta be car border in Buenos Aires for having some coins for the chunky stuff she provides and she sells, with perras degeneradas, Policía Federal Argentina Metropolitana, and the Cuerpo Médico Forense and Borda Alvear Piñeiro, and milicas, perras maricas, with associated, and whole punteros, and the prostitutitas degeneraditas of them. And with this, living like a homeless gay tour in a very chariot that I will drag day after another to having some coins for having the chunky stuff that I don't need and I never needed and I don't do to consuming neither less. I'm sorry, neither sell, forgive me, unless to thinking about having kind of a life. And at the reality of so suddenly I received a very opportunity, which a letter and a credit card and a ticket of plane for I to fly to New York City and start to making a very job, which will be really beautiful I to do. Advertisement, casting, and much other, and producing, and making production with producers. And that never reached out at my door because of I should ever be expecting the trouser, jumping speed trouser at my door saying, come and blow me up. Suck now, because if I come in or I kill you and kill me after, or my family at least. And I'd be pieces for later saying they're going to be me, then promise for future. Perras delirantes degeneradas muertas. So at the middle of this reality, forgive me the terms, please, ask you. This is the 1006 company and people interested in working with me genuinely, knowing I am the person that I show and I give what I give from the real me. Not from the mind control of maricas y prostis, Sodom and Gomorrah, which are making this to me and to everybody, saying that they are and they commence and they are going to be what they says, and everybody are going to be what they says, with perras evangélicas saying, oh yes, take it. And not trading, perras evangélicas, that trading under rape and murder, which are the victims they used. So, at the clear of this, I am loving them more. And ripped away, also telling that we're all criminal and they never endorsed, and also with the saying that I signating them documents telling that I will keep them for they to use and they to be and taking my place. That I were not interested except for a payment which will be, sorry for the chestic and for the wrong word, chestic. You understand? Something like comes so erectus and needs for getting inside some, I don't know, duct. You understand? And whenever there comes the moment of the excitation, gets in a very character or condition to making some procreation. This class will be exactly abomination. Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm sorry for the Gomorrah thing, you will understand after. قتل خبسخ لكيم بالبافور خلبخ لبيا بلبسفش متخل خلكيمين غبسف خال أم بلبسيبو توخل بلاك مش بتخلخمين كذا. You understand? So the clear fact of this all in Tlebechivi kablebesevech motafish mabankimin rabachtika. Halam. And blebeseveshio blachabak lechmachilimi was fechalimi. And Shevel. Oh, because of doesn't works, needs medication, of course. And are all the complices, and are all the generates, and all perras degeneradas, and everyone gotta go to hell. Everyone. While my friends are being raped and murdered and destroyed and hidden, violence, gender violence deal of Perra Sucia Cristina Kirchner that she's stolen to UCR for making staging, saying, oh, this is going to be useful. Give someone around and some staging with the accomplices, mierda degenerada, prensa argentina, with the pardon of victims, and everything is okay, we can show it up. And behind the stages of Perra Sucia and all around, our people may civilly destroyed, hidden, raped, mutilated, tortured, families complete, kids, pregnant, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, even if the virus seems to be and here like, yes, there's friends, brothers, sisters. And Perra Sucia Cristina Kirchner telling the fattest even inside when the father sees in knows how to wishing it. So I'm going to tell you something at this stage. What is the reality of this all cultivation of shit? Perras, Sodom and Gomorrah, making the whole of the staging, organizing, and calling and manipulating, and seeking for the ruiny, the generating, sick shit like United Evangelics for there to make the chat that they need in the market and whole business. And the lyring like I'm gonna be that they says the lyring cut shows them and the lyring cut will command them to do what they do and saying that everything will be justified and okay while they are diablas degeneradas, víboras, reventadas, repodridas, retorcidas, and that's the way they die, with a pardon of few victims. And that's the way they are sealed to die forever by the same divine, precious, almighty God. The genuine, the real one. Not the beast, which is them daddy. Them daddy, the master, are crabs of it. And forever, shallah. So what the reality of this, I'm going to talk about certain interesting thing. Judgment. Forensics perras and perras federales, perras milicas, perras Kirchners, Argentina, with perra carnival brain, were permanently staging and paying and making up all class of situations saying that I will be deflective, insane judgment. And especially associated with drugs for felony, violence, making felony to buying drugs, and the vices of the syndrome, which is lying, manipulating, and trying to escape paranoidly all the time and trying to produce the factor, which will be being robbing cell phones and whatever the element to buying stuff and living for it. So that this character delivered in discredition with porn assembled, sexual robbery, chunky, and all topic to saying is what we say in also videos. We are police. Who are you gonna believe? Do you believe that if belief will be the salvation and the belief will be the element to get out of this, the world wouldn't be the way the world is. But I'm telling you what, the faith is for the genuine, and the genuine is the will of Eladon. And Eladon determines and says what reality be. If you put the faith in him, you're going to have what he provides. If you put the faith in the talisman, whatever your chunky stuff up, spitting, chumpy trouser come to say, I command, blow me and let me kill you because if I say what it's going to be and I save you after he died and go into hell, that's what you get. He died, went to hell, barra degenerada, and you behind. Because of you believed. But Adonai has mercy whenever there is a victim. You understand what I mean? You believe prostitutitas degeneradas. So, one thing is a victim, other thing is una perra evangelista, playing the authority, the anointing, and saying, I have right, the Lord is going to endorse me. Yeah, sure. Your pad, sorry the word, your rectum is calling for something extra that calls Lord, which is the phallus of Sodoma, evangelista unido degenerado, corriente. And this is not vulgar, this is the picture. It's what you are. Alright. Evangelista unido promedio. The term. Yeah, the term. Mierda sos, y así morís. Judgment. Do you conceive the possibility that God himself will be so deflective, like saying love, wisdom, understanding, like Proverbs book? And you come to Torah and you read Proverbs, and you're going to come for a Jesus Christ to saying, for you to curse the ones that I want to save, while the ones that pretends to save are all demons and all degenerates and are destroying its people, and saying all the time how infrastructurally can manipulate and produce, for they themselves consciously do what they do, and saying, I am going to win and I'm going to defeat God himself, saying, oh, Father, they don't know what they do, give mercy, while people is raped, destroyed, murdered, slaughtered, and robbed, and all class of other generation making all around, and God is going to say, oh, because of it's just a sin. And also saying to destroy the ones that he institutes for the making the judgment and putting orders and saying enough, which are making the right will of Abi, the Father. under destruction because of the love of the demons, because of are not souls. Sodoma y Gomorra, Kirchner's, Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Ejército Argentino, UNASUR, and all associated with the burden of few victims, demons, like them. So the reality of the judgment, Berra likimim blavasevesechala kabal rochpia blavasvesechala kishmotach makeva. Rekal rebachlikimi rebachalevesol batzemaklachimia blavasvechatzik chalabashmasevek. And rechalchimia blavechala kishmotavachalevismi besalag. Rekablechvia blavaseveshmotua klevespatika machadeshoa blavasveta chalikimin seka. Robachalekimia blavaseveshmata chalchimi. Renka lechivia blavaseveshkoata chalmia blavaforoach lekvishpatach lecha mansevak. Arrechal blechivia blavaseveshka machalchel lechivi blavasvotua leveskima. Renkalcha machelevaki. Avashkelcha macheleveki mvoal levaskeva. Reshkanichimi. Skeplat chivika vachalevech volavia ma blavaseveshkot rachlechivika ma blavaseveshmati chamakalak. Roach mi blavasveti ma blavaspoka rachivish matechalgimi and blavevek. Roach velikimi valefas vechish kadachalach matgel chuma blavaspatak zikava. Ishgadchalechimi and blavachubalech via blavaseveshkatchalim. Badchimi blavaspotu achleveshmatzi. Badrechal telmia blavasvechish bolakmi blavechal chanama. Rechal blechevish potlechimi blavaseveshkatzi. Rochal kimia blavaseveshkat chalechpat lachimia blavaseveshkot duat blevechal. Rechama blechevio blavaseveshkat in katamaktishin duat taban terchlumoa. Revist on sibab tush an anamatzech balam. Berchach leviki. Meshochol plibia blavasmotuku orabasev. Mechlam. Yishoflech dichanim. That is called whore of hell. And rebat lefechalchimia blavasechishu vachalachimi blakadak, rechot levachalgimi blavaseveshkot rachalgimi blaveshketechalchanam, that is called son of a damn B-word of hell. And blavasivit lochma blavachalchivitash mat blavachalchivita blavaseva, rumdalibia blavasechidivishpotama blavachalkivishkana machlach vestav, that is called the general hijo de una maldita perra. With title of evangelic. Perra de Lucifer. And blavasechevit blavach blavasechaliskat chalechmi blavaspotuna roshivi kamlavechat chelikim blaveskut lachet veshkat chalcham, that is called confusion. And blavasivi chalatma blavachevitis polaptiva roshimi blama blavasivikat chevlevochwa blavaseveskat alechvesamashlek rofitach matesh matachal chaval blavasmotu acheshval lachinim, that is called melchelvish potlachim victim abducted. And blavasivish matachalechni blavasikach lecham roveshkat chalech mesvila, that is called destroyed, suppressed, pain, suffer, struggled, denigration, corruption, healing. Which this shed all produces for the business of being superior crabs inside the rectum of Azazel, which no other are going to have. Shala. Roblachimia blavaseveshkat chalechimi blavasevekoach avalashvecha lakama blavasav. Recholchimi chalechivish potamatechma inval eskavati shvarich manam. So what do we do? https www.ormc middle Sistemas Educativos Argentinos Kirchner middle ODRMC middle Ministerio de Seguridad y Educación de la Nación middle Ministerio de Justicia y Derechos Humanos middle Presidencia de la Nación middle somos los pioneros de la educación del mundo y los órdenes para nuestro poder y para que nuestros machos sean gloriosos sobre toda nación middle los evangelistas a la cabeza revientan, matan y G ODR 53811 BMCT6 middle, a todo el que se le cruza adelante, middle, y van a ser gloriosos, middle, somos la, middle, UB, RDOC 413, middle, amada de todo el mundo, middle, cis, middle, URM 4, point INT, systems recall F7, last split, ICC New York, last key and cleaner, my site still works. Here is everything. And I am sick of this bullshit, and I want day to day with them accomplices and them justifiers and them that generates in the whole of the world which dachmi tashmatzi and ain't Mr. President Barack Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, Mr. President Shimon Peres, Rivlin, neither justice parties, neither the EDRMC United Nations, and neither International Criminal Court or International Court of Justice, except in The Hague for 3 which are in place in this whole generates, which are already fired and are threatening to murdering everybody if they are not institutionalized, like hell shit again, which never were of International Court of Justice and won't be except for the character and condition for the same DRMC, threatening and pushed for this to be. And blessed, Mr. President Putin, neither do this, neither Mrs. President Merchant. And I'm serious about what I say. And like them, much others which are suffering too much, like every one of us. The problem is that we are in war, and it's not easy to handle. And everybody suffers with no help to, and with no reality because of what announced. Not his will, God's himself at all. Were announced that these were to come. Christianism is a lie, and Christianism is anathema, and Christianism is genocide of the reality and war against God himself. And the Armageddon of Christianism is false prophecy. And the reality of God is exactly what he himself testified, and this is what it's going to happen. Ain't no beast in my person, ain't no demon except the prophet that generates that pretends to be me. And no demon makes to a demon to taking what a demon cannot have, the spirit of the God and the virtue of the heaven. Saying God got angry and punished the one that he brought for the killing to the abominable, saying that God rather Sodom and Gomorrah and Lucifer to destroy its people, instead his own will and the reality of his name at the respect and orders for he to putting the right institutions in healthy, right states all over the world and the house especially. So perras evangelistas de mierda, deflectivas mierdas profetas de Lucifer, creídos de autoridad y derecho y ungidos, perras enfermas degeneradas, métanse la porno de Sodoma y Gomorra en el maldito recto y púdranse en ello por los siglos en el infierno, y toda hechicería y degeneración que ustedes hacen en el infierno se los va a consumir. Shalá, y por la eternidad. March 20th. I guess will be, or still 19th, spent the very time talking and saying and discharging and saying certain other things. And the discharge word of Peronism. Oh, let them F word to our people, rape. They are discharging, they just has right to F word and have a fun. Perras degeneradas muertas con ellos. Shalá. Sorry for this, and my vehemence is not gonna let go. Lest after this days, making that the generations that have been doing to me and to us all for the same day commands, and we don't understand.